Hello there. Welcome back to this series of videos on Chinese bikes, what I think about them, just kind of an overview of some of the better ones. So this is week number 2, and everybody was asking me to do a review or an overview of the SSR 300. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go over the rules for this series. There's 4 of them. The first one is the bike's got to be with an MSRP of under 5,000. The ones that I'm reviewing are of the better quality. So there's a line, and I would say like at $2,000, anything above there. Number 3 is they come with good quality parts to start with, and they have the ability to be upgraded from there. And number 4 is they're all water cooled. So this week's, like I said, is the SSR 300, and I'm just going to rattle through real quick, trying to shorten this up for you, kind of like the spec sheet for it. So it's an aluminum frame and aluminum swing arm. I've heard 278cc bikes are still available, but as of 2022, they're the full 98cc, 300 cc's. Earlier model years also had a regular carburetor that you would find like on a 2-stroke. I'm not sure of the size. I believe they were 34 millimeters, but in 2022, they switched over to an FCR clone carburetor, which, if you don't understand that, that is an accelerator pump type of carburetor with multiple circuits to feed fuel. That is now a 35 millimeter, is what they're saying on their website. Someone else told me it's 33, so unfortunately, I don't own this bike, so I don't know the exact size, to be honest. But it's still a single-cylinder overhead cam, 4-valve Zongshin motor that puts out approximately 30 horsepower, and it's a 6-speed. The chassis, this is what I like, and this is why I put this as my second favorite China bike, especially for trail bikes, off-roads, occasional motocross, is because it is chassis-wise a 2016 Honda CRF 250. Essentially a copy that is so close it's ridiculous. Like, so much of the stuff fits. The plastic-wise, tank, brakes, sprockets, brake rotors. It's like all Honda stuff, or can be switched to that. It's a clone. You get billet hubs, you get breakaway levers. It's a 21 front, 19 rear. 19 rear is kind of strange, considering it's targeted for off-road. And 19s usually come on motocross bikes, but that's what they've got. Maybe you want to go get an 18 if you're doing off-road. You could actually get an old Honda one and just get the correct spacers for the rear. The suspension, older models prior to 2022 were Fast Ace Honda clones in the front. Which means it had a twin chamber, internal chamber, that was specifically for dampening. In 2022, they switched to this ZL suspension. I think it's just another knockoff company, kind of like Fast Ace, but from what I know, it's ZL. 10.5 front and rear travel. 1.7 gallon tank, 37-inch seat height. Going back to the suspension, It's set up for approximately 140 to 175 pound rider riding off-road. It's definitely not designed for motocross. You would need heavier springs. Stainless steel valves are in the engine. That's not in all of them, and that's a big plus, the stainless steel valves. So this particular engine will last just a little bit longer. SSR sells a Pro Circuit silencer. It doesn't come with it, but you can get it only through SSR dealers. You have to order it from them, but it's made by Pro Circuit. I think it's up there in price. I don't want to quote the price. It's not cheap, but it's on par with all their motocross bikes. One other thing I like about this bike, and like I say, it's my number 2 favorite, is that Honda suspension can go on it. So if you can find a used, in the front you can go all the way back to 2005, 6, like what I did on my KO, the front forks. And you could get genuine Showas, and you would save yourself 6 pounds of weight just by doing that. In the back, it will also take a Showa from a 2016 CRF 250. Those are harder to come by. They're still, those bikes are still out there, so it's harder to come by and they're more expensive. But at the very least, you can switch out the spring. The springs are, you could go to Racetech and get it. So that alone, just changing a spring will save you 1 pound. So, if you were to change the front and the back, you got 7-8 pounds right there that you can change. It already comes with a lithium ion, so you don't have to change that out like I did on my KO. So that's a good plus. And there's tons of online support. There's many a group, and my buddy Charles at MxRevival on YouTube has done tons of work for this bike. He can get you graphics. He can get you... he also sells an electron. An electron carburetor for this bike would mean that you'd have to... If you got a 2022, you'd have to switch back to 2020, which means you'd have to switch the air boot, the intake, and buy the carb. That's a lot of money, unfortunately. But if you have like a 20... You could do it for either one, a 2020 or a 2021. I believe you can switch to this Electron, and great power gains to be had there. That's why they went in 2022. They switched to the, or late 2021 even, I think. They switched to the FCR, which was a pumper style carb. Electron's not quite that, but both of them are a vast improvement and help with the off throttle of the bike. So if you get this bike or you want to get mods for this bike, like I said before, look up my buddy Charles at MxRevival on YouTube and MxRevival.com on his website. And that's about it. I've ridden the bike. I rode an older version that had the smaller carb, and it was nowhere near, frankly, my KO. But that bike wasn't jetted very well. That's why the guy asked me to ride it, and we got it jetted. We got it, the air fuel mixture in there better, but he ended up buying an Electron for it eventually anyways. He had a 2020 model. Other nice things on this bike is it does have a radiator fan. And then you can go to AliExpress and get tons of bling. Just like I was saying in my other video about the Trailmaster. It's basically the same engine. So, a 6-speed, 300cc. You can look for Zongshin NC 300 or Zongshin NC 250. You can get tons of little caps and anodized parts and stuff like that. So I'm going to end it here. I know that's a quick one. I'm trying to cut these down. It seems like it's better if they're like under 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to get you an answer. If you just like the bike, tell us about it. More people will see this video, and if you've done upgrades and you like it, and put your thoughts down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps me make more of these, and I'll see you in the next one.